What's up everyone? Welcome again to our YouTube channel. You're speaking to the one and only King Shy and Dogozo Shabalala, the Alpha's son. Some of you call me Clover. Whatever it is that you wanna call me, let's get it on. Tell your grandmother that we are live on YouTube. Tell your grandmother that we've just uploaded another video and let her become profitable. So today I just wanna look at GBPJPY. I already did my analysis, but I'm just gonna take you through a quick recap on gold and JPY as fast as I can. In the next 10 minutes we should be finished. I'm just going to give you a quick recap on what I'm looking for. So now what I'm looking for on GJ is very simple, right? The first thing that I did, as I always say, the first thing that we look for whenever we're analyzing, we look for our trend, our level, and our that's our strategy: the trend, the level, and the signal, or the communication times. So as you can see, okay, I've marked out my support and resistance areas. And what is the market doing? The market is actually in an uptrend right now, and I actually drew an outer to show that the market is in an uptrend. As you had first touch, second touch, and we might expect a third touch, but this is a weekly chart and may not happen anytime soon because we are seated on a support, right? So now looking at that, okay, I'm going to explain what's going on here because these are things that are happening on a lower time frame. So now looking at that, the second thing that I saw actually on GJ was this: that the market is actually seated on a support in line with the trend, and giving us a signal of a bullish engulfing. As you can see, we have the signal, which is the bullish engulfing. We have the trend, which is an uptrend. Then we also have the level, which is a support. So this is a confirmed buy from the weekly chart that I'm getting and that I'm understanding from the market on what the market is doing. But since you have the buy, or since I saw the buy, I'm not going to take my buys immediately on the weekly. I'm going to have to try to filter it and see what I can get on the daily time frame or what I can get on the hourly. But I normally take trades on the 15 minutes time frame, but sometimes we can take them on the hourly depending on our pip count and our stop loss. So now looking at the daily, what else am I seeing on the daily? This is very simple. I'm going to try to not make this look as complicated as it is. The first thing that I saw on the daily is that, okay, the market first gave us an engulfing, pushed up, right, and then it failed to actually break this high because we also had a bearish engulfing right here, which acted as a resistance. The engulfed, pushed down, and then gave us what? An inside bar pattern. Inside bar pattern, we traded after the breakout. Could have taken our trades from here on our lower time frame. It still failed to break over there, but instead it gave us what? On top of this resistance, a bearish engulfing, and then it gave us a what? An inside bar as well, broke, and that's why the market actually fell. So now looking at this, what am I seeing as well? This becomes very simple. What I'm seeing is very simple. I'm seeing an inside bar pattern. Since I'm seeing an inside bar pattern, right, this automatically tells me, okay, we are definitely going to buy, but we're going to have to wait for a break above this zone, which gives us, as you can see, it gives us an ascending triangle, right? The market can literally break above this zone, and once we break above this zone as well, we're going to continuously take in our buys all the way until that point. I don't know if you guys can see this. We're actually having a triangle right here. I'm just going to use my brush. We're actually having a triangle right here that the market is actually in. It's actually consolidating and break towards the upside. So that's what I'm seeing on GG, right? Which becomes because we've basically gathered information from the weekly time frame. But now it's not enough. We have to go on the daily time frame now and find entries because we definitely know that the market will be buying. Okay, as you can see, this is because of the inside bar pattern that we are having. Because an inside bar pattern, we're gonna have a video on candlesticks and on patterns to explain to you how actually the market moves whenever we are in an inside bar or whenever we are experiencing different types of candlestick patterns and formations. So as you can see, we have an inside bar. Okay, what else are we seeing on the inside bar? Now this is inside of the inside bar. As you can see, we are having this triangle that I was telling you about. We are having a correction because an inside bar represents a correction phase. So what I'm going to do the moment the market opens on Monday, what I actually did and what I'm actually planning is very simple, right? I'm actually planning taking my trades from this zone all the way until this zone, until we actually break this zone. Aiming for which zone? Aiming for the daily high. But based on the time frame that we are entering on, we're going to keep aiming for the highs of the time frames that we are entering on. So now I want you to see this. The market did what? First touch, second touch, third touch, actually rejected. Sellers were actually rejected off this third touch because the market is literally doing what? The market is buying. So what did I do from there? Took the Fibonacci. If you didn't know, this is called the Fibonacci retracement. Fibonacci tool. Took the Fibonacci tool. I only look at two zones, the 50 and the 0.618 level, which is the golden ratio. So now looking at the Fibonacci, I'm just going to remove this. Looking at the Fibonacci, what did I say? Okay, the market actually rejected off the Fibonacci, giving us what again? Giving us a bullish engulfing candle. This is a bullish engulfing. There's no denying this. even if you want to deny it or what. This is a bullish engulfing candle. The market actually engulfed this zone and then on top of this key resistance area, and the market is actually pushing up. So whenever the market is going to open on Monday, this is what I'm going to look for when the market opens on Monday. I'm going to take my trades from this zone, and my stop loss will just be, I'm just going to give it enough room for it to breathe just below the bullish engulfing, just below the engulfing, and I know it's okay. I'll actually be taking, this is actually even aligned with the trend as well. As you can see, the bullish engulfing appeared on top of what? On top of the trend line. The trend line, remember, can be used as a channel, or it can be used as a trend line to end, not sometimes as a channel. So as you can see, first touch, second touch, rejected off the Fibonacci confirmation, taking my buys all the way from this zone all the way until this zone. Risk reward ratio is 2.31%. It's 2.31, which is very good. And we're gonna have a video as well explaining how we calculate our risks, because there are also other apps to calculate our risk. But if the market manages to break above this zone that we are aiming for as our first TP, then we're gonna scale in and aim for that zone as well. But if we're looking at that overall zone, we have a risk reward ratio of 1:6, which is actually a good reward ratio. But we're first gonna aim for this zone. Let's take our buys from this zone all the way until there. But at the same time, you also have to know the type of lot size that you're gonna be using, which we're gonna have a video on that explaining risk reward ratio and market psychology as well. So this is very simple on GJ, and what I'm looking for, I'm gonna quickly go on gold, because I said in 10 minutes I just want to wrap this off. On gold, what I'm looking for is very simple. On gold, I'm just gonna recap as well. On gold, I'm just gonna do something very fast. So now looking at gold, gold is very simple. What I'm looking for, gold is very simple. Same thing. This is a system that we use. Same thing. The trend, the level, the signal. We know this is an uptrend, right? We know gold is in an uptrend. We are using a trend line to show us the trend. So we use the trend line. We marked out our support and resistance areas. After marking out our support and resistance areas, we looked for a communication. What is the market doing currently? What are we expecting the market to give us currently? Okay, as you can see, I want you to see this. The market actually bounced off this trend line. It did not bounce off this resistance area, but it came and bounced off this trend line, and then it gave us what? A bullish engulfing, confirming that the market is moving up. And definitely show off the bouncing off the trend line, because the market is also in line with the trend, because remember, the trend line can also act as a diagonal support. So it gave us a bullish engulfing, pushing the market up. But what am I seeing on gold right now? I'm seeing this is gonna counter trend on the weekly. Why am I saying it's gonna counter trend? We are on a resistance area. This is called counter trending. Now we are on a resistance area, and it's giving us a what? A bullish. It's actually engulfing this. When the market opens next week, it would have confirmed a bullish engulfing for us. This would, a bearish engulfing, I meant to say, this would have engulfed the buyers. The sellers would have engulfed the buyers. So I now know that, okay, we are definitely looking for sales on gold. What you can see as well, we're also having another clear engulfing on the daily on top of a resistance zone, and it actually broke this trend line. It broke this trend line because we had a pin bar here. The market was supposed to continue moving up, but it met a resistance area, and then it engulfed, broke the trend line, broke the resistance area that we are having, or the support area that we are having, confirming an uptrend, and the market is actually selling. So what are we seeing? This becomes very simple. This becomes very simple now. Once we broke and we know that we are selling, we're gonna aim for this zone, right? We are aiming for that zone. But now I can't take trades on the daily just like that, because I know that we are selling. And what am I seeing as well on the other side? I'm seeing another engulfing in the middle of nowhere, but I'm seeing an engulfing confirming that sellers are still in control. So now looking at this, I want you to see this. Looking at this, what is the market giving us? What did the market give us? The market actually gave us a resistance. As you can see, it gave us a resistance over here. Why am I calling it a resistance? I want you to see this, because the market, what am I doing now? The market actually used this as a support, right? As a support, and after I broke this was actually a support, because it gave us a bullish engulfing on the support, and the market has been moving up ever since, you know. But the way it also approached that zone, they approached in a channel form, you know. Even the way it approaches, and it gave us also an engulfing on the 4 hour. So we're having engulfing upon engulfing. So as you can see, the market decided to retrace back in a channel. So we're also gonna have another video explaining the difference between trend lines and channels, because most of you guys are confusing the two. So as you can see, the market actually decided to fall, and then it gave us a channel, giving us a what on top of this resistance, and engulfing. The market engulfed from this zone. It actually engulfed. This is a pure engulfing on top of a resistance zone. So the market decided to push down. Okay, what are we having? Let me remove this. what am I looking for now? What am I looking for on the markets? What am I looking for? This becomes very simple. Now I'm looking for sales. The market came back, it retested actually the 0.16 zone and the 0.5% zone. It retested that on the Fibonacci. These are strong zones that we look for on the Fibonacci. These are like discount prices. We're gonna make another video as well on the Fibonacci. So the market actually came back, it retested this, but as it retested this, it gave us what? There's something like an inverse pin bar. This is like an inverse pin bar confirming sellers as well. But the main candles that we're looking for the engulfing. Give us an engulfing immediately after the pin bar. So what am I looking for now? I'm looking for sales, but pip count is too big. Pip count, if I have to take my stop loss and put it above here, it's too big. Then I'm gonna have to go on my hourly. On my hourly, this is where now I look for my support and resistance areas. What am I seeing? The market is actually moving up. So since the market is moving up, okay, there's a few things that I'm actually looking for as the market is moving up. I said I was gonna finish this in 10 minutes. I did not finish this in 10 minutes. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for the market to actually push up all the way until that zone, right? And then to actually push down. And I'll actually be aiming for this low, right? Based on the time frame that I've entered on, I'm aiming for that low, or I'll be aiming for this low. So now this is very simple. This is very simple now. This is what I'm looking for. Okay, let me try to remove this. So now this is very simple, right? You can even use your trend line as well, but remember, we are still looking for sales, right? We are looking for sales, so don't be looking at this trend line. Look at the trend line coming from the top, because we are looking for sales. Okay, let's start it from here. Look for anything that will give you a sale. That's what we are looking for, right? Okay, I'm basically saying, okay, the market is not actually respecting it. It actually broke out of this trend line, right? But what am I looking for? If the market just broke out of this trend line, this can confirm to me, okay, the market can actually push up, come back here, right? The market can actually push up and come back there. If we do not get our candlestick pattern straight from this zone, if we do not get an engulfing or whatever it is, an engulfing or a Hamani pattern, the market can actually come back to that zone, and then we can decide to sell. So we're gonna have to wait and get a point where the market can actually respect. This is now we look for our resistance zone or our support zone. So if the market does not respect this former support, which turned to a resistance, if it does not give us an engulfing here, I'm looking at an engulfing there, because you have to look at the nature of candles as well, the type of candles that you're having, because I know what the market is selling. So I'm looking for an engulfing there, and I'm also looking for an engulfing there. If I get an engulfing here, then I definitely know that the market will be selling, and I'll actually be aiming for this zone here. If I get an engulfing, then I'll take my shots. If I get an engulfing from this zone, then I know the market is actually pushing down. I'll be taking my shorts all the way until this zone. This is like a 1:3 trade, depending on where I'll get my engulfing. It's like a 1:3 trade, which is like a good trade. 100 Rand for 300, which is a good trade. $100 for $300, $1,000 for $3,000, which is a good trade. But if the market gives me an engulfing, let's say maybe in the middle of this zone here, I'll actually be aiming for this low here. Which is like a 1:5 trade, 1,000 Rand, or okay, it's 1:4 trade, 1,000 Rand for 4,000 Rand, $1,000 for $4,000 back, 1 million risk for 4 million. So which is actually a good setup that I'm actually gonna be taking. So that's what I'm looking for on gold. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you're gonna like, share, and subscribe. Tell your grandmother as well that we are on YouTube. We've just landed in the building with my boy Mr. Terry Shire, the cameraman, and you know how we do it. We're gonna take it to the top, boy. This is the Day Trading Academy. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. I mean it. Tell your grandmother. You can even take your grandmother's Sasa money and pay for our mentorship. Who knows? But we get it on. Thank you.